Hi there friends and welcome to my new Factorio series featuring the Spaceblock mod. I'm Icon and in this series we're going to build us some nice space factory. Gameplay wise, the Spaceblock mod is the only game altering mod that I have installed. There's a couple of other quality of life thingies, but these are in the list below. Nothing too dramatic, just some planning tool, a little bit of a to-do list, nothing too big. So besides from starting on a little island in space, Spaceblock features a whole new resource generation system. So in Spaceblock, you generate your resources out of bootstrapping black holes, whatever that means. So as we see here, this is a recipe which just churns out materials. That's that. And produces raw materials for us. It has only a 5% chance of spawning something, as you see here. The last two attempts didn't do anything. 3. That piece of wood, though, came from these. And obviously, we got a chance of creating all manner of different materials. There we go. Even crude oil barrels. So to get started, we're going to lay down some landfill and also that water fill. We are starting with a little bit of water fill. I guess we need that for the power production later on. The other buildings I got here, I don't want to place them down for now. I just want to expand my territory a little bit. Because honestly, that starting island won't bring us too far. The first things that I want to do, I want to start producing some materials with that black hole method. So we're going to use the solar panels. I got no clue whether or not they are capable of producing power the whole day, or if it's just a certain phase of the time. Because, you know, we're in space. I really don't know. I only know that my power grid has 300 kilowatt available, and I got accumulators, so we should be capable of storing that power. I'm really starting out small here, because I don't know how hard it's going to be to fetch up new land. The only thing I do know is that I want to put up my assemblers to do this space bootstrap black hole stuff. So we're going to copy that. Just shift right click and shift left click afterwards. And also we're going to drop down some of these. So these should now be just producing materials with a 5% chance of succeeding while doing so. This is not really efficient in any way, but since I don't even... Oh, I can produce transport belts, but I don't even have a single furnace yet. So the first thing I need is some luck with the spawn to generate myself some stone, because obviously that's what we gotta do. So we're going to produce manually here while expanding a little bit. I'm considering using steam power quite early on, because if I understood things correctly, I can use that water fill to create myself a little pond where I will be producing power. Since we don't have any biters harassing us here, it might be also a quite nice thing to do. So yeah, stone and the first few furnaces seem to be the first challenges here. I do like what this mod is doing, because it changes the early game dramatically. You know what? I think we're just going to drop down more power generation here. I mean, I literally can't even build myself some new power poles, because there's just no sunlight here. So we do have a night and day cycle. Okay, so that's confirmed now. Alright. I assumed as much, but I didn't know yet. So we're going to drop down a little pond here, and there's going to be the water pump. I mean, Sure, I got the tech, but I ain't got the resources, so we really still have to accumulate a lot of things, and I'm still hoping that the manual production will yield me the necessary stone at some point. So here's the fun thing, though. Once you have 5 of something, you can start duplicating them. That's another neat thing this game allows you to do. So we only need to... Yeah, that's why it's a bootstrap black hole. That makes sense. So it's to bootstrap the production, basically. And after that's been done, we will be capable of just duplicating these materials in our inventory. Now I understood how this is meant to be used. Because basically now I can create 6 coal out of 5 coal. So this is a process which doesn't stop. But for now, we sadly only have the copper. Too bad. And obviously the daytime is over, so I'm going to pause the video for a second, or wait a sec. I just wanted to pause the video until the power is back up, but the game already did me that favor. Okay, so we're basically just waiting for the stone to accumulate. Okay, so I'm gonna halt this until we have the necessary base resources. Yeah, didn't take too long, and I had all the necessary materials to properly produce. So we're now going to change recipes. We're going to switch off these dudes, because we don't need the random production now anymore. What we need is now a more specified production, so let's forget about those black hole bootstraps. We're going to teach our machines now to produce the stuff we need, because I can now create as much stone as I want, as long as there's enough stone to create new stone. Good. So the same goes now for the other machines as well. So I'm going to do this with all the basic materials, because seriously, we do need more of those. Here we go. So sadly, yeah, okay. This is a little bit of a more painful process, because obviously they need to be fed regularly. Okay, but finally I got myself enough stone to create the first furnace. So here we go. You know what? We're also going to do the this recipe in our inventory. Ugh. So the thing is, properly automate this, I would need some different procedure here. I mean, it is possible, but first off, I really want to... I want to produce a couple of iron plates or something like that. So let's keep producing that. And meanwhile... it's a little bit tricky. I basically would need one chest to put stuff into and one chest to put to feed it. I really do like how simple this looks from the outside, but it actually is quite a nasty thing to get done in the beginning. As soon as we have more of these, it won't be any problem. But right now, my biggest problem is that whenever I can't fall below 5 iron under no circumstances, basically. And right now, we just need a couple of iron plates to get the ball rolling. And so probably it is better to stay here. This way they at least produce something useful for me, which I can somehow manage and actually get some benefit out of it. Alright, so here we go. Now we just keep cycling through these recipes. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I love it that we even receive entire barrels of oil. This is pretty wacky. And also, we need to drop down more accumulators. Ah, we need more everything. But the first everything I want more of is another furnace, so I am able to produce copper plates, you know. So half the coal is no problem. Half this is also no problem. Okay, here we go. So, well, this is one of the most interesting ways of handcrafting that I've ever encountered. I like it. Okay, so now with these copper plates, I'm finally capable of producing myself some power poles at least, so we can utilize our power production correctly. I mean, what is this? I'm starved for power while I totally got the necessary items to produce. Oh boy. Spaghetti Town. I don't care. These things won't stay like that anyways, so I'm not taking them too serious. So we got a couple of iron plates. Now, what are we going to do with that? I'm just thinking about how to multiply my resources on a more sustainable base. Because basically, the best way would be to produce a system which feeds itself and outputs the extra generated item somewhere else. This is actually quite nice. But for now, I don't want to break my noggin too much about that. For now, we're just going to produce basic materials like crazy. And yeah, we're finally capable of producing a couple of plates extra. It's a hard knock life early on, but at least we get in there. So now the next layer of solar panels. We've got 2 more. Well, let's drop a little bit of landfill here. What I really like about mods like these is they put you into really exotic challenges. And this is quite exotic. Alright, so we got more than enough of these ores. It's really nasty that you always need to take care that you don't give away too much of these. Because you will need more to refill yourself. Okay. Let's see, I'm already wondering what kind of solution I will bring up for my resource production. Because resource production will work a little bit differently in this mod than I'm used to. Okay, we got 1.2 megawatt production. No clue how much we can store, but definitely enough for now. So I got 1 tier 2 assembling machine. I got a chemical plant. Why? So uranium ore for the multiplication of uranium ore. Sure, very important, I guess. Well, okay, but at least we can now keep duplicating materials. And as well, I'm starting to feel capable of creating my first real things here, so some transport belts and stuff seem to start to be realistic. So, let's see. A machine which wants to produce iron ore for me would need some container where the iron ore gets stuffed into the machine, and some container where the iron ore gets extracted outwards to. The thing here is, no matter how I do it, let's see, we can use it. We need at least 2 inserters to do so. Alright. So, sure, we can input like that, but we won't be capable of doing an output like that. That way. So my idea is we're going to do something like that, at least for the start. So this is an inserter overkill, but this inserter puts the iron into, this inserter puts the iron outwards, and this inserter puts the iron back to the starting place. This way, we should be capable of multiplying that iron ore nevertheless. I got no clue how I'm going to pull this off on a larger scale yet, but there are things we need to think about anyways, so that's okay. But what happens now is we got that process running. This works. So we could do this with all the other materials now as well. Because now I can simply put all that iron ore in there to smelter it. It won't bite me in the back now. That's good. So let's do this one more time. I mean, it doesn't seem to be super efficient or anything, but it's also doing the job, you know. Over the course of time, this procedure will at least automatically increase the total amount of resources I got. And since this is right now a topic, we're gonna do it like that. Also, I'll live here. It'll all make sense. So here goes the copper. Let's start using these. Okay. I feel like this is a horrible way of doing it, but at the same time, I feel like, what the hell am I supposed to do otherwise? I mean, as soon as these machines keep running for a while, they should be capable of producing extra materials in a decent way for me. And at least now I can take all the output out of these bootstrap thingies and just use it for myself. So here we go. Also, we start to have the first signs of an overproduction. Look at that. Yeah. It's starting to be saturated. Wonderful. Okay, so we can do it like that. That's the first thing we learned. So I'm wondering if I shouldn't be producing more of these, like bootstrapping it myself, or not bootstrapping, producing these ores also myself whenever I can. I mean, right now my biggest deficiency is the amount of working capacity here. We could do so much more with more resources, you know. So therefore, probably I should just manually craft that too. So we got our third working horse available. The next big thing that I want to go towards too is a laboratory, because, you know, I need technologies. I need to be capable to build my own assembling machines as quick as possible. They do cost me a lot of material, yes, but at the same time, I'm so donezo without that. Also, yeah, we're going to save our materials now for that special occasion. But I also realized that we're starting to allocate ores. We actually start to overproduce. Nice. So these are totally random and a bit of a extra of a bonus, but well, gotta say the barrels look a little bit annoying because you see they only stack up to that rate. Might be a common issue at some point. Okay, so what we're going to need: 36 friggin' iron plates. My goodness. But luckily, we start to reach the point where we can produce in larger scales. these machines are now... Oh yeah. So seems like the worst part is going to be over soon. Okay. There's 11 iron ore in the output here. It's beautiful. This means we're really overproducing on a massive scale there. Okay. So 36 of those. I'm going to grind these real quick off camera. Now, this took a minute or so, and now we're capable of building our first laboratory. This is going to be the first step towards real automation. I mean, I don't like what I'm doing here so far, but probably this is going the way we're going to do it anyways. I mean, there should be a solution with belts. There must be a better solution with belts, but I don't want to stress myself out too hard here early on with finding a solution for this problem. This is something I'm going to think about between my episodes. We will find a solution for that. Maybe you guys already know something we can do. But for now, this does at least work out somehow. And we can dump our laboratory over here. And, well, the only thing we're lacking are iron plates to do the red signs. The first and foremost thing for me is absolutely research of automation. Because honestly, without the capability of producing new assembling machines, I feel massively gimped in my capabilities. Because, you know, I want to create ore machines here. I mean, I could work with the signals and such. Where are they? Here, circuit networks. This could bring us solutions for these issues, but we're so massively far away from that technology. I don't see that as a realistic solution for now. I think this is okay. For now, this seems to be okay. Because now, with extra assemblers available, we're going to just multiply these machines. Because all we need are 6 pieces of iron ore, or 6 pieces of whatever ore, and then we can go for that. I mean, basically, I think I would like to program some signal network that will only keep the 5 or 6 units of ore in the network to kickstart the process and output everything else into a network which just is for the usage. That's the first thing that crosses my mind. But I got no clue if this will work out like I imagined it. For now, we just research assemblers. That's also a big endeavor. And probably I should consider extra furnaces, because those are really important as well. Gotta pimp up that production, you know. It's just not enough. But at the same moment, I feel quite happy about our numbers here and all. So maybe I'm just going to replenish my fuel. Okay, technology-wise, what's the next big thing? Electronics unlocks all manner of different things, also inserters. But no, the next big step for me are logistics. But honestly, logistics aren't as important as the other things were. For now, we just need to keep producing these materials. And, well, it does seem like my power grid is now powerful enough to sustain the production during the night. I haven't seen any power outages ever since, but I'm pretty sure that this will totally keel over as soon as I add in more than one assembler extra into the network. So this definitely will be something we need to do very, very soonish. Okay, let's dump some coals in there. Yeah, well, I don't have enough iron ore. Definitely one thing I am quite annoyed about. But we're gonna be getting there. I mean, right now I'm finally upgrading the production. And I can finally get the next assembler online. You know what that means? We're just going to do... We're just going to copy that. I'm just going to drop down another of these. And we're just going to do the same crappy design we did before. But let's make sure this crappy design is somewhere in a power grid. Okay, here we go. So this is nothing I can work with. Probably like this? I don't know. I don't think that I can't do it better. Well, nah. We're going to need another power pole anyways. That's okay. Okay, so let's build another terrible machine. I mean, it's not that horrible. Just as a very, very excessive use of materials. Sec, we got... This is output, this is input, so output must transfer to input. Probably just should copy that. And now all we need to do is to drop that in once and kickstart that production. And this way we at least are capable of doubling up our production. I mean, that's a good start, isn't it? Just as usual, we don't need nearly as much copper ore as we need iron ore. It's somehow always like that. Okay, but there's another neat thing that I just realized. We really, really, really don't need these assemblers anymore on their old job. I feel like it's about time that we start duplicating that terrible machine a little bit more. Because it does work wonders for our production there. So... Oh, these small power poles are so annoying. But I think this could work. No, it can't, because it doesn't have power here. Whatever. I mean, at this point, it ain't that much of an issue anymore. We start to be more and more self-sufficient. So here we go. I really should start copying these blueprints. I mean, there's no biggie in that. Okay. So we need some iron ore to kickstart the process. Gimme, gimme. Now I used up a couple of them too many, but I do like where this is going towards to. We're going to amp up our production like crazy once these are all running. It'll take a while until these machines are saturated, but at least this will provide me a method of producing iron plates for now, but this is no long-term solution. I'm well aware of that. I think we can easily just extract the materials there. If we can't yeah. You can always extract out of a machine that has green lights running, because it basically already has all the materials for its next production cycle. Okay, so I'd say this is a pretty neat point to end the first episode at. I mean, we are still terribly, terribly far away from a true automation of these processes. I mean, at the end of the day, I will need to produce ores like that at a large scale, because as far as I see things, there's not much more we can do. I mean, there is... Oh yeah, there's space matter. There's space matter furnaces. I should check out these. Space matter furnaces need 50 ore of every type, but they can... Ah, that's my solution. That's my solution. So, these produce ore and put out ore. These eat ore and output more ore. And they even have a chance of outputting more ore than my assemblers. I think, and that's some kind of a preview here. I think what I'm going to do will be looking something like this. So, do we already have a little bit of belt? No, it's time to produce. So my idea will be looking something like this. And then we're going to drop another layer of furnaces there. Let's see. I'm not sure if this will actually work out, but basically when we got furnaces feeding more furnaces, and these can be backfeeding the first furnaces, we just need to have some output then. Oh man, this is in its own way quite complicated, but I do enjoy the thought experiment. I think once you have it running, it ain't complicated at all anymore. It's one of those typical situations which from the outside look like a big WTF, but actually I don't think it's that complicated as I think right now. Anywho, dear friends, that makes up for a nice first episode. We got a couple of materials to work with. We haven't got a long-term solution for things yet. I think a very vital part of our progression here will be to start creating the first space matter furnaces. So space matter at least is a good sink for my crude oil barrels. And space matter also means we should be using these machines here with a bootstrap recipe still. So we can also produce landfill out of automation science packs. Okay. Here's crude oil boilers. Oh, we can use oil for power production. Now that's an interesting thing. Anywho, dear friends, that was episode 1. I am very happy to be back at it. We're going to produce more wonderful things in the next episode. I'm pretty sure that I will find a way to get the space matter rolling in the next episode. Pretty sure that we should be capable of doing so, and let's see what happens next. Alright, drop your comments down below. I'd be super happy to hear from you, as you all know. Also, it's super helpful. Every thumbs up you give makes this video more visible. And last but not least, check out the channel. Daily videos coming up there, so you might want to check that out too. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any episodes in the future. Also, down there in the description box, you will find my Twitch channel, where I do regular streaming, my Discord community, where you can find a lot of like-minded gamers, and last but not least, also ways and means to support my video channel more directly in a financial way. My content will always stay free, and I can use every pair of helping hands that I can get. But don't you worry, watching these videos helps me already more than you might think, and I'm very, very grateful for that alone. Have a good time, and see you next time on the Spaceblock.